Hey everybody, my name is SirCrest, and today I thought I would start, or actually a couple days ago I wanted to do this, but I wanted to start a series on Kona. And right now it's just called Kona, but I think a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago it was called Kona Day 1. And apparently there's going to be multiple games, so maybe they split up the series or something. And so Kona, the description is Northern Canada, 1970. A strange blizzard ravages Atamipek Lake. Step into the shoes of a detective to explore the eerie village, investigate surreal events, and battle the elements to survive. The first installment in a series of 4 games. Kona is a chilly, interactive tale you won't soon forget. Has very positive reviews on Steam, 60 of them. I guess it finally went into public beta in the form of early access on Steam, because it says the release date is March 10th, 2016, so I actually had a copy of this for a couple months, but I never did a video of it. And, can I? I can't, well, I was going to scroll down, but it is $10 on Steam right now. When it leaves early access, it will be, I think, $15, because they said it's like 33% off, something like that, in early access. It's developed and published by Parable. I'm doing this by memory. And yeah, I think right now there's just a couple hours of content, like half the game or something like that. I actually got a key for this before Firewatch, but it wasn't quite as hyped, put it that way. So anyways, check into the options. Let's get to graphics first. This is Unity, and you know what I think about Unity. I feel like I need to do a video talking about why I mention Unity whenever I play a game. So it has presets. None of them seem to work, because basically the moment I go into a game, it resets all the settings back to Ultra, which is really annoying. I'm running at 2560 by 1440 at 30 FPS. These two options here, level of detail and view distance, play a huge role in the frame rate. If I set both of these to the minimum, I get like 130 FPS. If I set them all the way up, I get like 50. But the game looks absolutely ridiculously low-end when you set them lower. Not to say it looks better with them high up, so the game just doesn't... Well, that's a whole discussion on performance and stuff, but the game looks okay. And you got motion blur, which you can't adjust. It's pretty extreme, and I'm going to be playing at 30 FPS, so the motion blur will seem stronger. I may turn it off. I think, because it's a bit strong, VSync doesn't work because it's borderless. I guess that's about it. It's quite a loud game. There's a lot of dynamics in the music, so I might turn that down. Like right now, I have it really low on my mixer. Let's go ahead and play. I played like a couple minutes just to gauge performance, and let us go ahead and start.
Carl Faubert, private detective, had just traveled thousands of kilometers from Montreal to reach this remote middle-of-nowhere area, situated near the far northern Lake Atamipek. Granted, this was a great distance to cover for a sole client, but word had it that he was a particularly wealthy one.
So when I decided to lock back to 30 FPS, I had never played, or I hadn't played a 30 FPS game in a while, and oh my god, the difference in smoothness is insane, because I'm used to like 60 or 120 or 165 hertz. I know very little about this game.
Carl had to drive a bit further north in order to meet with wealthy industrialist William Hamilton.
Okay. Why is this black? I thought there was anything wrong with that.
Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business. Hamilton was a prosperous owner who had acquired various businesses, as well as metal mines in this northern region.
hope I'm not going to have the same bug as in Firewatch. And I'm guessing that's in French. Oh. I didn't know.
Carl had a lot on his plate. He had to get back on the road.
Northern Quebec and its inexhaustible resources. The province of Quebec sits on an inexhaustible abundance of natural resources. Why not take advantage of this? Our valuable minerals could travel the world and reach places as far as Dallas, USA. Get involved and invest now. Quebec's economic might will be awakened. At the heart of the wilderness, the north is swarming with wolves, caribou, bears, partridges, foxes, snow owls, and hordes of other majestic creatures that are every bit the equals of Africa's wildlife. We are the Africa of America.
The journey ahead was calling. The case won't close itself.
Discover the north and experience a genuine white jungle. Okay. Actually, there is an option that ooh, interesting. I remember reading the patch notes, and it said there is a special limited voice option where it will kind of reduce the amount of voiceover if you're a streamer. Didn't mention YouTuber, but I feel like maybe that might be a decent option. So let's check up here. So, the motion blur is really accurate, I would say. One of the things that's difficult for motion blur is alpha. So when I move up these stairs, the stairs seem to be actually blurred, and the background isn't.
Carl had a lot on his plate. He had to get back on the road.
Okay, maybe I should turn that setting on. Oh, like bolt cutters or something? I didn't really explore much when I was testing. I basically just walked around this area. Alright. From an art perspective, the game actually looks okay. I did notice one little odd thing, because basically my Let's Plays are reviews as I go. You know this. One thing I noticed was that the sort of God rays run wherever you're looking, so it's almost like a Vegas effect. Notice how I can change looking here, and it shines like that. That's not how light works, developers. Light shines from one direction to a direction. It's not depending on how you look. It's not a lens flare.
Not once before had Carl imagined he would one day drive past Chibougamau, further away to the north.
What I was going to say is this is one of the first videos I will be posting outside of my streams where I'm using a different microphone. I was on the Shure SM7B for a good few months. For September, I'm planning on selling it. And had some qualms with it.
Carl was meeting his client in a store near this area. He was on the right track.
He was on the right track. Chibougamau.
Hamilton never mentioned a road-blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it.
I'm on a microphone called a Blue Baby Bottle.
The cutters made quick work of the chain. What better way to investigate vandals than to get into their shoes, Carl, the professional vandal, thought, reveling in the irony of the situation.
I like the writing of the voiceover. It feels like a narrative. Like, I don't want to say narrative because that's thrown around a lot, but like an actual written story. Yeah. So let me know how it sounds. I've also been playing around with volumes and speaking styles and the position of the microphone. Withdraw to deposit. Oh, so I can put stuff in my in my truck. It's one of those touch-sensitive doors.
William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here.
Ooh, cool. I also have no idea what this game is about. I was watching my friend Weasel's
The local
stream a
populace
little
was
bit of it.
divided when it came to the affluent man. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy. Others an aging Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those ones hated him enough to go on about scheming against him.
Also, I've yet to touch the throttle. I'm just steering. So anyways, my friend Weaselzone was streaming the game. This was a couple months ago, and I remembered, oh yeah, I have a key for this. And
Carl was not made aware that winter would come early this year. The North made clear who was the boss up there. Snow, which didn't care much about the date when it felt like dumping its first load of the year.
First load of the year. I got a load for you. It's a cool day here in Dreamland.
Hamilton had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people.
This is pretty, beautiful. I'm also going way too fast for this area. Whoa! It's kind of scary. Alright, I'm gonna hit the brakes.
Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton
Oh my god, I
in one
cannot
way
see.
or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, Carl thought, the target would become the man himself.
The man himself. What's it say here? Welcome to Maniston? Oh my god, I feel like I'm going blind. Now I know what people are talking about when they say, wow, this game is really bloomy. Because you can barely see what's going on. I'm just waiting for like a deer to run into the road and blind me. Atamipek.
The truck was running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by.
Drift. Is this the general store? Oh my god, I can barely see. That's way more organic than I was thinking. Like, it didn't push me in a certain direction, or it didn't have me sit somewhere. It just, well, you're underneath it, so get started. Moroloro. Braun 60 ale. Man. That's some good, besides that, the depth of field filter and shader is very, very solid.
A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit. A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles.
Stop.
The fresh milk indicated a recent visit.
I was going to say that, you know, outside of the writing, the voiceover, I really wasn't too sure of. It reminds me a bit of Kholat, except it has story. When I was watching some of the videos, I was like, this voiceover sounds kind of odd. But now that I've been playing a little, oh my god, it has my shoe prints. It's amazing. It feels very authentic. Oh god. an insolvable accident. Over the last few days, a lack of resources forced the death investigation of Pierre Blaise to come to a halt. The autopsy of the body, conducted over the last few weeks, didn't reveal any clue that could have helped the investigators. Sort of like alligators, who refused to comment on what would happen next. This new development is happening in the context of the hypothesis of an accident, which is still, in spite of skepticism expressed by the local population, the ongoing official cause of death provided by the authorities. The incident is said to have occurred in the forest surrounding Lake Atamipek. Let me just state for the record, I read much better than I speak when I'm reading out loud. I have a problem with that. Pierre Blaise was found lifeless 2 weeks ago near a footpath leading to the soon-to-be restarted copper mine. Blaise, an engineer by training who was working on behalf of the consortium headed by William Hamilton, was reportedly in charge of the development plans surrounding the reopening of the mine. At first, police had disclosed that the body had been desecrated. Today, the official version is that it was partly devoured by beasts, hence the official assumption that a crime had been committed. Interesting. He's quite a handsome fella. So anyways, I kind of like the voiceover that doesn't sound like a typical voiceover. It sounds like, kind of just like a, like grizzled guy who has experience. Is there an issue with what I'm carrying? Special? Oh, okay, so that's my weight. Alright. Interesting. So I don't need to carry everything I come across. This game would be so much better on Unreal. But frankly, I say that about everything. Are those wolves? Alright,
It was so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
Okay, oh my god, I didn't... Alright, so I'm gonna go to System, Controls, change keyboard. I want to see if there's a way I can... First person, let me just see here. Read codex, inventory, journal, gameplay, interact, game back. Like use my middle mouse button to look up my stats. You would think my eyes are like f1.2 or something. Good old sugar and caffeine.
An explosion suddenly occurred outside.
What the fuck? How do I turn my fucking flashlight? Oh, number 4? Oh my god, why can't I do that? Alright, let's investigate outside, I guess.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Wait,
The
what?
note explained that the garage and the store
Oh.
couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
The store. Wait, so I have off, on.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
This place is a mess. I feel really sort of claustrophobic. Let me expand this. This might not be very good to watch, but from my perspective, I feel really I can't get a perspective on what's going on, so...
You don't leave ammunition out in the open like this. Was Gilles Lachance that careless?
Gilles Lachance? Gilles Lachance?
Finding a key is easy. Finding the right keyhole, not so much.
That's a woman. Or something. I was trying to think of something. Kind of old school. Wait, validate? What? What? Oh. That's what that means. Oh, I need power. Ooh. Alright, I have no power. Alright. So, let's head outside.
A radiator without power is as good as a wood stove without logs.
Is that how radiators work? I thought that was from a boiler.
Whatever happened here, things got pretty rough. And not a trace of Hamilton.
I wouldn't know considering I live in Florida. I mean, already, we're off to a good start. Shut from the other side.
The crowbar was stuck under the lift.
Oh, something.
Notwithstanding Carl's imposing stature, car lifting wasn't part of his skill set yet.
I wonder if the car fell? Got some pliers. Some hardware. Bolts.
Staring intently at the controls won't be enough to make that lift budge.
I need the
The
generator.
poor thing was out of power.
Or I need to fix a fuse or something? But that doesn't make sense because there were circuit breakers there. I want to close the fucking door. Okay. I don't want to light that right now.
Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears?
So I guess they ran away, okay. Do I just hit combine? And it does whatever? Alright, so we got main. Now I need to fill up my car. Alright, so run pump. Oh, here we go. That's cool. Oh, you know what? It must have moved the car when I was inside. That's how it's already lined up. That's gotta be it. Various canned fish. I want to be sure there isn't something I can get in here. I'm just waiting for someone to sit outside the window and freak me the fuck out. You know? Is that kitten food? Food of kittens? Apple squares. Apple sacks. Or no, Apple Jacks. With a QU. To open the cash register, punch the price. 2 numbers minimum. Press sale. Turn the crank 2 times. Punch the machine if it doesn't work. Makes sense to me. Back.
By all appearances, the general store also served as a post office. Letters and packages awaited the locals' daily visit.
A letter from Lamoth. Lamoth? Mr. Lamoth, here is the spark plug that you ordered for your ski-doo, Atamipek. This model is very popular, so it was difficult to find a new one quickly. I would think that's like the opposite. Thank you for choosing Garage Potvin et Fille in Shipugamu. Truly, Gaten Potvin.
Jumping from that height was akin to tempting death. Perhaps that man on the snowmobile had seen enough of this world already. A nice picture of the Magasin La Chance store, seemingly taken the day it was first opened. It feels frozen in time, from an era long forgotten.
These pictures are really detailed.
Amateur hunters showing some pride at having killed a nice pelted beast. With men like this roaming the area, wolves would become extinct within 10 years, Carl thought.
Actually, so far, a lot of stuff in this game is really high quality. Textures, the effects, all the, like, really basic things, you know, just stuff laying around. I thought I already read this. I already hit F. Oh, this is different. Quebec's Klondike. Northern Quebec's economy is booming. The north of Shibugamu area's population will soon reach 30,000 souls, among which thousands of happy families will be prospering thanks to the hard labor of their fathers, who will be contributing valiantly in expanding Quebec's national wealth. Mines and hydroelectricity, hunting, and fishing, the true Canadian dream. Turn it into your reality now. The mines, a sector of full expansion. Did you know that since 1960, Canada tripled the amount of resource royalties it collects? Did you know that the country's true source of richness is lying under your very feet? At this very moment, the building of our schools and hospitals depends on your minerals. Exploiting our resources, the road to our future. Everyone knows that exploiting things is the way you do business. Oh yeah, I want to make sure I turn that off. Oh, phone.
The snowstorm pummeled everything in its path. Carl was not surprised when he heard no tone. Gilles Lachance, Carl recollected, was the general store's manager. Should Hamilton not be available, he was the man to talk to. Or what if Hamilton had moved up his appointment with his physician?